I just want to say, guys and girls, I really appreciate you listening to my podcasts daily. It does take me a lot of time to do those podcasts, anything from 3 to 5 hours in the day. And I am on Patreon. So I've got a new Patreon up there for $65 a month, where you can get all crypto information, learn how to be a great investor, a great trader, and also you get crypto reviews and free courses and all sorts of things. That is excellent. Plus you get a database of Slack for over 60 or more cryptocurrencies. There's cryptocurrency tools, all sorts of things, which it's been updated 3 to 4 times a day, but also it's at least 5 to 6 years old. Also, you get a free Udemy course, Cryptocurrency, What Is It All About? And that's valued at $300 as well. Also, you get all the podcasts, you get more videos of all sorts of things, right, that I do not release to the public. And that would be very appreciated if you supported my Patreon, which is Crypto Granny on Patreon, and that would be very much appreciated. Now, I have that $65 one only set up for a very short amount of time. So, it'd be very lovely if you guys, everyone that listens to me, supports me, because, the cost of what I have to pay for technology and market information is at least over $1,000 euro, or so a month, and it's going up like crazy with Stag. For the podcast to the public, which is you guys and girls, I'm going to cut down the podcasts I give to my other clients that are paying clients, and you'll only hear bits of the podcast, halves, and I know that's going to be very annoying for a lot of people, cryptocurrency. So I would really, really, appreciate if you supported me. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, hello everyone. It's Susie here, Crypto Granny. Sorry about the lateness of this. I did one before, and would you believe it? It took me an hour to do it. And it's taken me like 6 hours to do the research today because there's so much stuff out there. It's just incredible. And it's all related to our investment portfolios, which is great. But then it didn't record properly and it lost it. So I was like absolutely spewing. So this is my second time, people. I apologize. And I've still got stuff to come out, and I'm analysing whether we should be buying some more crypto here, because the market is still extremely, extremely cheap for specific coins that we actually buy, which have got great businesses, great technology, more and more clients, getting on more and more network activity, more revenue, and basically they're not startup risk anymore. They've been in business for at least 4 years or 5 years. So now I've got to start again. My apologies for everyone waiting for the podcast. But there is a lot to discuss today, and that's why I have to do it again. So if we go to Live Coin Watch, the market cap is 1.381 trill. It was up high this morning, but it's come down a little bit, but it's still higher than it was yesterday, which is great. 44.959 bill, lower than the average, but, higher than yesterday. Yesterday was about 32 bill. Liquidity is low at 3.805. I'd rather see that at 4.5 bill. And Bitcoin dominance is still very steady at 45.57%. We go to real volume. Tether did 14.14 bill, Bitcoin 5 bill, Ethereum 4.6, Binance US 2.89, Doge 1.29, USDC coin 1.22, Polgyon 1.09 bill. That's a massive amount for Polgyon, massive, and it's up 27% today. Wow. ADA 786 mil, Binance itself 751 mil. Polkadot 574 mil, and that's up 30% today. That was actually my apologies. And Polkadot's up 12%, and they did quite a lot of volume. And XRP 437 million in volume. So it's nice to see volume up, which is great. Very good. Also, volatility's come down. We are seeing a lot of the whales. They certainly bought a lot of Bitcoin yesterday, under 30,000. Bitcoin got to a low of 29,200. I was very, very close to buying this, as you know, and I just thought it might have one more push down. But to me, Bitcoin looks like it's double bottomed, okay, because it got to those lows again around 29,000, 28,000 odd. The last low was 28,800, and the low last night was 29,200. It does look like a double bottom to me. My only concern is prices are still under the the 200-day moving average on a 4-hour, okay, which is not great because that's my trigger for actually getting long cryptocurrency. But in saying that, when we go through the portfolio and see what we've bought over June and July, some stuff still thinks it's still sold off like 50%. And that is cheap in my mind. Cheap. Like Wirex, for example, that's now put on about 27 million clients, as we spoke about yesterday. So there's still an enormous amount of value in this market. And I've got currently 46 million, I wish, 46,000 invested in the cryptocurrency market. And that's just, it's a very, small bit of my cash, less than 10%. And I'm probably happy to put another 5,000 in, even at these levels, and see what happens in the next couple of days. Because if we get, if Bitcoin gets through $36,000 or so, it's going to be off to the races for sure to take out new highs this year, okay? And I'm on record for saying that. So let's get to the news. There is a lot to cover today, and I'm apologising because, people are waiting for this, but just sometimes technology doesn't do what you always want it to do, to put it perfectly. So what do we got here, guys and girls? So we've got big moves by some of the largest banks in the US going into cryptocurrency. And even Bank of America, which is a very conservative bank, and I used to do a lot of dealings with them when I was working in FX and everything else. They're a very conservative bank, but one of the biggest banks in the US. They've decided to go in a big way into cryptocurrency, and they're expanding their cryptocurrency team in terms of research, in terms of dealing and client facing. There's a lot of institutional clients who want to deal with Bitcoin and currencies and futures and everything else, right? Also, Bank of America is doing a lot of exchange traded funds with Bitcoin. And, they're also doing that, throughout Europe and everything else. So, this is a big client that is now getting into Bitcoin, okay? And that's huge, right? It's going to bring more liquidity, more market action, more clients going on, more liquidity and everything else, which is great for the business. But not only, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs is there, JP Morgan, ICAP, UBS. These are huge, right? All these companies are huge investment banks. And they've been buying Bitcoin, but they're also buying, interestingly enough, exchange-traded funds for Polkadot. Now, Polkadot is really, really cheap, okay? It's been sold off massively, but it's a fantastic business. And these exchanges, these big banks have been buying Polkadot on the German and Swiss exchanges, okay? Now, Fidelity, which is another big asset management business, owns about $2.5 trillion of assets under management. They did a survey of all their institutions and found that 70% of their institutional clients said within 2 years they want to buy cryptocurrency. So the thing is, there's going to be a lack of supply of physical coin, okay? And we need to keep that in mind. We know there's more derivatives that can be issued because there's no limit on supply, but there will be a supply shortage of physical coin, okay? And we need to keep that in mind. So I think a mega bull market is going to come because of all these new institutional players that are getting into the market. Not only that, a lot of miners and a lot of crypto companies and firms are going to the stock exchange, the NASDAQ, to list on the stock exchange. So they need to do, an IPO, and also, that enables them to get a lot of money from the stock market with new clients on the stock side. And then they use all that money to expand into the crypto industry, into crypto expansion, whether it's through, new investments or whatever it might be. And that's going to make the market even larger and larger, right? And more profitable. So this is a great story. We're actually seeing a big switch, from equity down to crypto. And it's going to be huge, people. I see a time when crypto is going to be a mega, mega market. You'll have equity, you'll have crypto brokers like equity brokers, right? And it's going to be huge, just like, crypto specific brokers, like, they know, the different coins and all this sort of stuff. And it's going to be big, big, big. Watch out for this space. So also another big bank, which is extremely well known, one of the oldest banks in America, BNY Mellon, has basically given digital support to a new trading platform called Pure Digital, right? Also, State Street have gone in with them. and, you know, a few other people as well. They're also partners with Grayscale, right? And they want to be this digital, pure digital exchange. BNY Mellon has said we want to be in direct competition with Coinbase, FTX, and Gemini. Now, by the way, FTX raised 900 million in the market last night, and that was one of the biggest raisings for a crypto exchange. This crypto exchange is owned by Sam Bankman-Fried, and apparently, you know, it's going great guns in Hong Kong. They have institutional investors and all sorts of things and traders, right? And they actively trade cryptocurrency and all sorts of currencies on quant-based trading. So they're very, very smart people, right? But this is a huge story. Now, you know, BNY Mellon, as you know, is one of the biggest banks, custodian banks in America. And this is going to bring more and more clients to the cryptocurrency market, okay? Now, the European Union has made an announcement that they seek to end anonymity of crypto transfers, right? And this is to take place by the end of 2024, right? And what this means is, you know, if you've got privacy coins, you know, like ZEC, like Verge, or like Monero, they're gonna have no place in a regulated environment. Okay, we never have invested as a firm in privacy coins, right? Because you know they've been delisted off a lot of exchanges already in Asia, and they will be deregulated, and there'll be nothing, you know, there'll be no price discovery. Okay, so we do not invest in privacy coins, right? Now, apparently, Bitcoin nodes have increased from 11,613 to 13,000. Which is fantastic for Bitcoin because it actually makes it more decentralized, right? You have all the nodes all over the world, right? And this is, you know, this is more decentralization. To top that off, don't forget with the Chinese miners, they owned 70% of the hash rate because they had these industrialized miners to work out the algorithm for Bitcoin. Thus, they got 70% of the Bitcoin rewards for proof of work, right? Now, don't forget, any miners, and there was 5 major ones, you know, they could collude because they had 70% of the hash rate of the network, right? And they could force a 51% attack, okay? And that made Bitcoin centralized, just like Ethereum, okay, from the mining aspect. But the good thing for Bitcoin clearly was the Chinese miners, you know, the Chinese decided to, you know, basically close everything down in the country, including the Chinese miners. And so the Chinese miners either got rid of their rigs or sold them or had moved to other countries to find a place where they can mine, okay? Now, you know, it's actually interesting because what it means now is Bitcoin's hash rate is only controlled by the Chinese miners of 35%. So Bitcoin, just because of that, has decentralized more, which is a good thing. Now, Satoshi, his vision was for not the big industrialized Chinese miners to control Bitcoin. His vision was for Bitcoin to be controlled by the people, you know? And the problem is with all these incredibly fast mining machines, no one could compete with the Chinese because they had huge warehouses of mining machines and computer grunt, and no one could compete with that. So in some ways, the Chinese stopping it is actually good for Bitcoin and Ethereum, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, also, Bitcoin, you know, as we said, did get to a low, but it saw quite a bit of support there, which is a good story. And let's see what else we got here. Silvergate Digital Bank in Q2 accepted 4.3 billion in new digital cryptocurrency from new investors. Now, that is incredible. Those numbers are unbelievable, right? We find the digital banks, you know, cryptocurrency banks are making a fortune and they're increasing their businesses, you know, an incredible growth expansion, right? These guys could be, you know, bigger than the normal banks that we see, centralized normal banks, okay, in the world that we're used to, right? And, you know, and it also, when you think about outside the square, Bernards could easily become a bank, right? You know, Ripple could easily become a bank. I talked about this 5 years ago, right? You know, any of these organizations could become banks because their assets under management are increasing, and their client base is a very, very profitable business to be in crypto, right? It's quite incredible. So we just see these organizations developing all the time, right? And getting bigger and bigger. Now, Titan Investment Manager will roll out a new crypto fund. And, at the moment they want a fund of about $58 million, right? And that means they've got to physically go and buy, cryptocurrency, which is good for the cryptocurrency market. So we find new investors are constantly, all are buying crypto, right? Professional investors. And that's great for Bitcoin and great for, for cryptocurrency per se, right? Now, Circle announced or revealed, if you want to call it this, that USDC, which is supposed to be a stable currency against the US dollar at $1, right, is backed by a certain allocation to US dollar and to US dollar securities. Okay, and this is very important because stable coins are not stable coins; they're index coins, and they're attached either to a basket of different assets or one asset being the US dollar. Now with Tether, we know Tether only has 73 cents in the dollar to real US dollars, okay? In other words, it doesn't buy, for every dollar of Tether it issues, it doesn't buy a dollar of US dollar real, right? And that's not good. So technically speaking, Tether should not be at $1. You understand me? It should be at 73 cents. This is why I don't like so-called stable coins. The name is wrong. They should be called index coins, because if the US dollar goes down, the stable coin should go down with it. Otherwise, if it goes down to zero, you've got one of nothing, if you know what I'm saying. Now, USDC, it was revealed by Circle last night, and that's aligned with a lot of the exchanges, and it's got a lot of big investors in them as well. They're also looking to get a banking license. It revealed that they had, against the $1 of US dollars for the USDC, they had 61 cents in cash, which is real US dollars. They had 13% Yankee CDs, 12% US Treasuries, 9% US commercial paper, and 5% in corporate bonds and municipal agencies bonds and that sort of thing. Now, if we say US dollars are 61 cents, which is real, and we say US Treasuries of 12% is US dollars, right? That tells us that there's 73% or 73 cents in real US dollars. But the problem is with the Yankee certificates of deposit, are they with a corporate or are they with the government? If they're government, then yes, it's real US dollars. But if they're with a corporate or a firm or whatever, a commercial paper, which indicates it's a corporate, you've got credit risk, right? Liquidity risk, credit risk and default risk to that corporate. It won't be a triple A or it won't be a double A plus credit rating. The credit rating will be lower, okay? In other words, not real US dollars. If this corporate, say you have 12 cents invested out of $1 in a corporate, and it goes broke, that 12 cents is worth zero. You see what I'm saying? So at best, USDC has 73 cents of real US dollars. Sorry, at best, USDC has 87% of real US dollars. At worst, it only has 73 cents of US dollars, okay? So as I said, at best, 87 cents, and at worst, 73, and that's not great. That's why I've told my clients to not sit in allegedly so-called stable coins of USD Tether or USDC, okay? It's not real US dollars, right? You've always got to make sure that you're sitting in real US dollars or whatever. Not that I'd be sitting in US dollars, okay? Being on an Aussie. Now, Visa is becoming a very large digital bank. It's expanding its profile, particularly in crypto. And, they've got billions of clients, and they're also expanding on all the exchanges out there. And, as far as I'm concerned, these payment processes like MasterCard, Visa, even PayPal, they could all become digital banks, right? Because they're finding the cryptocurrency market so lucrative. They have a huge client base all over the world globally, 280 different countries in the world. These guys, the payment industry could become the next digital banks, and they'd be bigger than the normal banks in the world, okay? Now, Crypto.com has another testnet which allows projects to build on ethereal virtual machines, and it's now live, right? So basically it's called Kronos, and it runs parallel with Crypto.com organizational chain link, right? Chain, it's blockchain. Now, the thing is, it makes it very easy now with Kronos for anyone to move across from Ethereum to Crypto.com, okay, on their platform, on their ecosystem. And this is a huge story for Crypto.com because it means they are directly in competition with Ethereum, okay? And they've also launched a fund, quite a bit of a fund, $100 million, where they're, getting developers to come in to support the technology with technical funding and marketing, right? And this is a fantastic story, honestly. And basically the new technology uses proof of authority, consensus. It's much better than proof of stake or proof of work, okay? It's a great story. And Crow, it's at 10 cents. It's a gift from heaven, guys and girls, a gift from heaven. Plus, Polgyon, another great story came out for them. They've now got MoonPay headquarters that's integrated with them, launching on the Polgyon system. It's a payment infrastructure system that will enhance the complete use of DeFi. It's an alliance, and also they're a money transfer payment system. They have a license which they've just issued, which is great for Polgyon. More clients, more activity, more utility of the network, and their coin, right? Also, they had a DeFi alliance, and DeFi alliance is to do with creating more speed in terms of the network of Polgyon and infrastructure, and lower fees as well. And they also added on Ocean Sea, right, which is huge, who's also said they've got a $100 million fund to support the Polgyon network, which is a fantastic story for Polgyon, okay? Fantastic story. Now, Cardano has announced, as you know, that Alonzo, the smart contract platform, testnet worked extremely well, and they're going to have smart contracts by August, okay? Now, both Polgyon and Cardano are direct competitors of Ethereum, okay? And now Crow is, okay? Also, Binance is, right? Binance Smart Chain. Chile's got another client called Inter, which is a global sports group and sports clothes and entertainment and that sort of thing with sporting. And that's a fantastic new client for Chile's. They're also on Revolt. OKX, apparently WorldPay has chosen them to expand their services in terms of crypto. Another big player coming to the market. And, they've got literally, WorldPay did $2 trillion of transactions last year, 2 trillion transactions, and they're in well over 190 countries in the world, right? Massive. Now, Amalda Research were buying Bitcoin below 30,000, right? And, this crowd is really well known. They're quant people, and they also, work with FTC, founder Sam Bankman, right? Fried, right? So these guys were buying below 30,000, and they also make investments in crypto, okay, specific cryptos and infrastructure type investments as well. Now, Ripple versus the SEC, the next meeting's on the 27th, as you know, but interestingly enough, Ripple have now claimed, this is really hilarious, that the USA SEC regulators are now in this is hilarious, actually, they've actually said that they've violated their own securities law, Section 17B. And I thought that was hilarious, right? I think Ripple are going to win for sure, because they said, literally, the SEC had been visiting them over 5 years or 3 years at Ripple Labs. They knew what they were doing all the time. There was absolute transparency, and the SEC never said anything. And I think Ripple's absolutely 100% with this. I really do. The SEC have violated their own laws, because they should have told Ripple, the client, if it wasn't, if it needed regulation or whatever, you know what I'm saying? If they need to do a prospectus, a proper one. So, I don't think the the SEC have a leg to stand on. I really don't. Now, MasterCard announced that they would enhance their card program for crypto wallets and exchanges, making it simple to convert crypto to fiat. Well, I hope they're cheaper than what they normally charge, because it's about 2.5% to 3%, and they're not cheap. They're going to work with Evolve Bank and Trust, Parksos Trust Company, and BT Pay and Circle, and other tech companies. That's huge. And again, like I said, these companies can become digital banks. Apparently, Kraken's going to join Bitstamp to run US operations. They've tripled their team. Amazing what's going on here. Incredible. More and more crypto companies are raising money from the equity market to expand in crypto. Just goes on and on what's happening today. There was a big scam, $12 million, called Profit Connect. A mother and a son scamming 270 clients, which is really bad. Pancake Bunny, as you know, there was a flash loan and they got hacked of 2.4 million. And basically, what that is, and I'll explain it very simply. A flash loan that the attacker went in, the bad attacker, and he basically borrowed a huge amount of tokens, right, through the borrowing facility, and then he deposited that amount, a small amount, with Sushi Swap against USDC to US dollar tether. That was the second process, right? The third step is he deposited into Minchin Jeff to get high interest, right, in the network, right? Which is this is how he manipulated the system, right? Then he was able to get into the coding of the system, right, into the pricing oracle of the system, because he was so clever, and he changed the interest rate to be something astronomical off the planet, like maybe 2,000% or 2,000,000%, right, which gave him a higher valuation, which the system then believed that he was owed tokens. So he managed to get the system to mint tokens, right? And then what he did is he sold those tokens. And as soon as he sold those tokens for US dollar cash, or USDC, which is not cash, he then converted that, back to real US dollars, right? And got away with 2.4 million. Very clever. This is why I don't like DeFi at all. Now, I've said the exchanges should not put on DeFi, but the problem is they make a lot of money through DeFi. They get all the clients on DeFi. They get clients trading the coin. They make fees. Then they, get clients to hold and staking and all sorts of things. So Binance Smart Chain would make a fortune out of DeFi, and that's probably why they're loath to get rid of DeFi, because they make so much money. Also, depending on the DeFi, it could be an NFT where people are... I'm really sorry, everyone, for cutting that off. My apologies, but if you'd like to support me on my Patreon, to listen to my podcast and get the whole version of it, it'll only cost you $65 per month, US per month, and you get access to Discord, podcasts, crypto reviews, videos that are not public, a Slack database, which is, valued probably more than $1,000, 5 years of data and of 60 of the main cryptocurrencies, plus you get a free Udemy course, Cryptocurrency, what's it all about, and that's an excellent course. So thank you again.